On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I am Madison Reyes.
And I've got a little different background today going on.
You do? This angle is killing me.
I know. You said I look large.
Yeah, you look large, and I don't think I've ever said that in my life to you. But
it's because I need you guys to know Madison is on the computer, which is like down facing up. This shirt's also huge.
Yeah, which nothing wrong with that. We love that.
Yeah, actually.
But not what I'm used to.
Not me getting body shamed a minute in.
Honey, never. Never, ever. You've got a beautiful body from God.
Clock it. I am currently coming to you guys from a cabin in
the woods.
Blue Ridge, Georgia. I'm in the woods, hence my little shirt I got on. I thought I'd go on theme for the episode.
Oh, okay. Love it. You're going to not be visible to anybody. I do have to say, I feel like this era of you being in a cabin, I'm not sure if I love it. I mean, this is the thing. I feel like you're thriving in the cabin, and I feel like you're thriving without me, and I don't love it.
Oh, no. I'm not
posting,
thriving without you.
And you are. It's okay. I'm happy for you. But you're posting like pictures. First of all, beautiful pictures. Love it. But there's like pictures of you with like this beautiful mountainscape behind you, and you're just like thriving.
Oh my God. As a best friend, she hates it.
Just to be real. Like, okay, girl, can you get back to the city?
Back. I wish you were here.
Oh my God, we'd be in trouble.
We need to be in a cabin together.
We do, but you know what? I feel like I would have to wear one of those collars that like deer have to wear, like when they're protected.
So I don't lose you.
Yeah.
Dude, well, we came out here because the champ and I both were just like, we've had so much going on the past couple months, and I think with wedding planning and everything, we're both like, okay, we need a little getaway. And we actually, so random, probably like a month ago, a couple weeks ago, we were just looking for fun on Airbnb because when we had gone out to Pigeon Forge, we were in a cabin and we were like, oh, we should do like a week somewhere where we're just in a cabin. Because for me, it's easy. I can work kind of from wherever, you know? And so we decided we were like looking at cabins, and then randomly we stumbled upon Blue Ridge, Georgia, and we found this cabin and it's so cool. And like you look out and there's truly nothing.
Wait, you have to watch while you're there. You have to watch that His and Hers show on Netflix because it takes place in Dahlonega, Georgia.
And you've been wanting me to watch that.
Yes, please.
Well, I told you we just started True Detective season 1. I was sleeping on that show. And the champ had told me to watch it a few times, but you know how I am. People tell me to watch something. I'm like, okay, whatever. The whole season is about occult murder.
Oh, is that the church thing you keep posting?
Yes.
Okay.
And there was like a tent revival in it, which like cult babes, you already know. I fucking live for a tent revival. There's something like so enigmatic about them to me.
Do you remember? This is like a couple years ago.
Far Cry?
Huh?
Oh, no, go ahead.
What'd you call me?
Far Cry. Remember that video game we played? It was Far Cry 5 or something. And it was culty, and there was a church there and stuff. That's what I was thinking of.
No, I was thinking of the time I wrote an entire coffin spinner about this woman named like Emily McPherson or somebody, thinking, oh, Spencer's gonna fucking love this. He hasn't talked about this. I fucking got it. She's a whack job, wackadoodle, tent revival lady, went missing.
Oh, Amy Semple McPherson.
Yes. And then got done, was like, yes, my work is done for the week, research done. And then you're like, yeah, have a full episode on her, on Cult Leader.
And I told you, I'm like, I literally have in my possession, I thrifted this like wooden log book from the Foursquare temple that she ran,
Girl.
like the summer camp that she ran. I was like, girl, get a new story.
I got got.
You got caught with that one. That's happened to me a few times though, where I've like started writing something out and then I'll like call you and I'll be like, bitch, have we talked about? And you're like, yeah, girl.
I know.
And I'm like, fuck.
I know.
Some of the earlier topics though, I feel like eventually we can revisit and like go a little more in depth on them.
Right.
My topic today, I know we haven't covered and I'm losing my mind over it. Like I was so excited. You know, when you're like, I love every episode, but there's some where it's like, I'll run and tell the champ. I'm like, babe, there was this person, a blah, 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 and da, da, da. And he's like, I love it. That's great.
Where it just hits and you're like, I fucking discovered the equation for world peace or something.
Literally. And that's what we're doing here on Obituary, babe. Okay, we're bringing world peace.
We're in the lab, we're studying, and we're trying to figure it out.
We didn't discover world peace, but I discovered a lot of information about Bigfoot, Madison, because I went to the fucking Blue Ridge Bigfoot Museum.
Oh my God, tell me. Do you believe in him, for real?
Yeah, because there's like, there's all this. Well, okay, I don't know if I believe in like Bigfoot necessarily. So the museum loved it, would recommend going, but it's not like, obviously it's a museum about a character who we have no actual evidence that they existed.
Yeah, it's giving.
It's kitschy.
Ripley's Believe It or Not. Fully,
that was the vibe.
Okay.
That being said, they did have a lot of newspaper articles printed out about them finding these like 8-foot skeletons, or there was one skeleton that was like 8'9" and like these larger beings. Mm-hmm. And
like you right now.
Like how I look probably at this angle.
You're giving Bigfoot, bitch. You're giving Bigfoot. How we found him.
Damn. The search is over.
That's why you're thriving, because you're back in your homeland.
I'm back in my natural environment. Yeah. Swear I was bred the Appalachia, baby. Well, Madison, I think you're a real asshole.
Oh, good one.
And speaking of, this is another one from Am I the Jerk? Which I'm like, love. I feel like it's opened up new territory.
Yeah.
Because I guess not everyone wants to type such curse words on the internet.
Right.
Also, I'm going to pause and say this. As toxic as it can be, I think Reddit is my favorite app. Over Instagram, over TikTok, over everything else, the amount of shit that you can learn, the amount of like strange history factoids and stuff that's on there, I love it.
I completely agree with that. There are two different sides of Reddit, though. There is the snark side, which I think
I'm not on that
miserable
side.
Fucking people go to and die.
Yeah.
And then there's the like, explain to me like I'm 5, or like, that is lovely.
Totally. I think it's also what you like. They build an algorithm for you. I don't have a user account or anything on there even. I just be browsing.
Yeah, totally.
Just browse.
Yeah.
Anyway, they said, am I the jerk for selling my grandma's house to pay for her care when my family wanted it as a legacy?
Okay.
I am honestly at wit's end with my relatives, and I need to know if I'm actually the jerk here or if they're just delusional. My grandma was diagnosed with dementia about 3 years ago, and it has been a fast slide downhill. She used to be the sharp, independent woman who kept her garden perfect, but now she barely remembers what year it is. For the last 2 years, I've been the only one actually doing anything. I'm the one who handles her meds. I'm the one who visits 3 times a week to make sure she hasn't left the stove on. I'm the one she calls at 3 a.m. when she's scared. My dad and his 2 sisters, They show up maybe once every 6 months for a photo op to post on Facebook about how much they love Grammy. They've done zero actual work, and a few months ago it became clear she needed 24/7 professional care. She started wandering and the house became a death trap for her. I looked into the best memory care facilities in the area and they're all incredibly expensive. Grandma has a decent pension, but it doesn't cover even half of it. The only real asset she has is her house. I am her power of attorney. My dad was supposed to be, but he couldn't handle the stress, so she changed it to me a few years ago when she was still lucid. I decided to sell the house to fund her care for the next several years. When I broke the news to the family, they absolutely lost it. My aunt started crying about how the house is a family legacy and they spent their childhoods there. My dad told me I'm robbing them of their inheritance and that I should just find a cheaper state-run home for her so the house stays in the family. I told them that if they wanted the house so bad, they could buy it from her at market value, or they could all chip in $2,000 a month to cover the private facility. Of course, suddenly everyone's broke. They want her to rot in some understaffed warehouse of a nursing home just so they can flip the house and split the cash after she passes away. I went ahead with the listing anyway, and the house sold last week. Now half the family is blocking me and calling me a cold-hearted jerk for, quote, destroying our history. Am I the asshole or am I the jerk?
You know that this boils my blood. I have personal experience with dementia and with care facilities and just all of it. And
yeah,
they absolutely did the right thing by selling the house and giving their grandma the level of care that she deserves and the dignity in her last few years to have a good quality of life, to have proper care. And the family who's only thinking about themselves makes me so fucking sick. This person is not a jerk. This person is also taking part of their I'm sure the house meant a lot to this person too, but you have to make these decisions.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, I knew you would have strong opinions based on your what you've dealt with someone who you love who has dementia. And I don't have anyone in my family directly that has dementia, but plenty of other things have happened in the past where I too have seen this like greed come out in people when somebody is towards the end of their life or battling some sort of debilitating disease. I was trying to look at it objectively because obviously the person's writing this from their own experience. But when they said the Facebook thing, I'm like, I know these people. I know these people who are like, oh, they were my world. And oh, look, I'm visiting, blah, blah, blah. But then they're actually not involved whatsoever.
Right.
And I'm like, get fucked. Yeah, definitely not the asshole on that one.
Yeah, not at all. And good for you for making a hard decision. And there comes a time where 24/7 care is necessary.
Money also, people matter more than money. People matter more than money.
1,000%. Like, and these people that are like, we're losing our legacy, our family legacy, our home. It's like, what?
Like, that's the matriarch.
That you wouldn't have that if she wasn't around. Like, it makes me sick. It's hard for me to even. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on. This next one says, am I the asshole for wanting a wedding after a family loss?
Okay.
My fiance and I, 32, are different cultures and religions. We take both sides into serious account and consider traditional values often. However, me and my fiance are working together, as well as in premarital counseling, to work through some cultural differences that are being placed onto him continually by his side of the family. His father lost his brother a few weeks ago, my fiance's uncle, and he is pressuring us to cancel our destination wedding to continue to grieve the loss. The wedding is 5 months away. And in their culture, they expect the close community and family to cancel big celebrations when there's a time of mourning due to respect and beliefs they have around loss. This usually extends to a year, sometimes more. My fiance does not want to cancel and feels it's unfair to us, especially after a long time of me not being accepted into his family for over 13 years due to cultural and religious differences they first denied. We both feel this wedding at our age was a long enough wait for them to accept our relationship, and asking us to cancel feels like pleasing them again. We also feel that this impacts all of our guests and my family who have already made arrangements internationally. His father has been practically begging us to cancel and offered to pay for a wedding more locally instead. He told my fiance if he goes to the wedding, he will not dance or be happy and asked that there be no music or drinking to grieve the loss correctly. I feel like this is a big cultural ask and clash for us. We want to have a talk with his parents to explain how we will still go on with the wedding plans and feel it's important to us, but naturally we both feel guilt and shame for this now. Am I the asshole for continuing on with the wedding plans anyway?
Fuck, that's so hard. I do not think this person is a jerk at all, but I do understand cultural differences and religious differences, and that can be fucking hard. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't. I wish everybody got along or had a better understanding and could, I don't know. That is so hard. But I will say, if you are entering a marriage and it does seem like your partner is on the same page as you, I think that's a really good thing. But are you going to have to deal with the family? Like, that's so hard to deal with a family.
I know. I get the different culture, and I get probably feeling a type of way too. Like, I've never really been accepted here by these people.
It kind of sounds like whatever that person does, the other family's going to have a problem with it. Aside from religion or culture, it just seems like they will never accept this person.
Well, my other thought too, something I found personally to be interesting and a little contradictory, was the fact that the father-in-law was offering to pay for them to have the wedding more locally. What's the difference? Like, they're having the wedding.
Mm-hmm. So you'll dance and alcohol can be there if it's local?
But not, yeah, I don't know. It's hard because when you marry someone, you are marrying their family, and you have to deal with everything that comes with that.
Right.
Technically, I don't think anyone is in the wrong here.
Right.
Because culturally, if you're like, no, this is how it's always been, we wait a year.
Totally.
You are marrying into another culture,
right?
You know? And with that, it doesn't mean you need to adapt to their beliefs, but I think it can be complicated when it's around something like grief or loss.
Totally.
So I don't know. That's a fucking tough one.
That is a very tough one. Yeah. God, I'd say if it were me and my husband was on the same page as me, or my future husband or future partner, I'd probably say fuck it and go get married exactly how you fucking want it to be.
Damn. Yeah.
Not being disrespectful. Everybody's an adult. Nobody's trying to be disrespectful, but your wedding should be about you. It should be about the two of you. It should be exactly how you want it. I don't know. Maybe I'm disrespectful.
Or you could, like, I was going to say, like, you could just go elope, not even tell anyone, and then do the wedding later, like the big celebration. But I'm like, you're asking everyone to reschedule a destination wedding. That's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
What?
But I have a funny listener email that has to do with karma.
Okay.
And I laughed, okay?
Okay, tell me.
So this says, hello, I am a longtime listener and want to start off by saying that Madison, you are beautiful. This is why I picked it.
Here they go.
And your laugh always brightens my day. Also, hi, Spencer. That's it.
Girl, fuck you.
I just wish I was.
That's our comment section. Yeah. That's our entire comment section always. Madison, you're beautiful.
Spencer, you're Bigfoot.
Fuck. Damn, I fall from grace.
Damn.
They used to hate you.
What? I just wish I was y'all's best friend. Anywho, enough of that. The reason I wrote in is because of something I believe you will find funny. My grandmother came in one day after visiting her friend's home. She said, I need to tell you something you will find funny. I had no idea what she was about to tell me, but she knew if she thought I'd like it, then it was about to be something morbid. She proceeded to start trying to tell me, but could not hold it together. She was wheezing laughing. She says, you know, blank's husband died a few years ago? I responded, yes, very confused as to where this is going. She says, well, He got cremated. Somehow the cat got into his ashes and used him as a litter box.
Oh, no.
I was appalled and could not figure out how this was funny. So I say, wait, that's horrible. Meanwhile, my grandma is still wheezing laughing and blurts out, oh, he deserved it. He used to hit her. He was a real jerk. I then join in on the laughing. It's after death karma. Hell yeah.
Yep.
100%. Anyway, if you share this, please use my name. I love listening to y'all. Thank you for being you. Love, Farrah Hoot from Oklahoma.
Oh, Farrah. Oh, son of a bitch deserved it.
Son of a bitch.
Ask me.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hit your wife. Your ashes are getting used by the cat.
By
It was like that Leslie Ray Charping or whatever, who they let the donkeys.
Yeah, totally. That was a great obituary.
That was still one of my favorites. And you're up first this week, and I have a great little side bitch for us.
Let's hear it.
Okay, this is from the Morning Tribune, Friday, September 1st, 1916. Oh, and this one, I was like, wait, why did I pick this? This one is cool because it's like a pre-obituary almost. It says P.H. Morrissey, labor chieftain, is dying.
Oh, okay.
Galesburg, Illinois, August 31st. P.H. Morrissey, assistant to the vice president of the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad, formerly Grand Chief of the Brotherhood of Railway Trainmen, is reported near death at his home here tonight, suffering from a brain tumor. Specialists rushed there from Chicago. Promise only slight hope for his recovery.
Oh my God. Putting the cart before the hearse.
Well, yeah, I was actually just reading through different obituaries in that paper. It was just like an old one that I landed on. And, sometimes you're just going through, flipping through, and you're like, okay. And I saw that and I'm like, that's like a pre-obituary. That's like, and I was also like, picture you're laying in bed sick as hell and you open up the paper and it's like, what?
What the fuck?
Oh my God, I'm dying.
I would live just out of spite.
Oh, girl, me too. I'd be like, another year. Thank you. Oh, shit. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Madison's going to tell us what had her spinning in her coffin this week.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Girly, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Okay, girls, what had me spinning in my coffin this week was another coroner to the stars.
Oh my God, I thought you said corner at first.
Coroner.
Coroner.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Sounded like corner.
Horner?
Corner. You old bat. It sounded like you said corner, like corner of a street corner.
Got it. Okay. No, coroner.
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 Coroner to the stars.
Ooh.
Well, sort of. I'll explain. So you guys remember a few months ago, I talked about Dr. Thomas Noguchi.
Yes. Marilyn Monroe,
Sharon Tate, Natalie Wood.
Wait. I just have to show you really quick.
Okay.
I got this at a bookstore.
Star Ghosts. What does it say?
It says Star Ghosts, reports of actual encounters with the film greats of yesterday. I found it at a little bookstore here in town.
Oh my God.
And it says Haunted Hollywood. According to Hans Holzer, an expert in psychic phenomena, the ghost of Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, Jean Harlow, and other top stars still inhabit the Hollywood mansions in which they once lived.
Oh my God, love.
It's like a vintage book, though, so I'm excited to crack that sucker open.
How fun.
I know.
Oh my
this
God.
bookstore had a lot of good old spooky stuff.
Good old spooky. Love
Yeah.
that. Okay, well, maybe I'll have to read that after you're done with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thomas Noguchi was think of him as like our West Coast medical examiner.
Okay.
So I thought it would only be fair to bring you one of the most famous guys from the East Coast.
Okay.
Okay, a little East Coast, West Coast.
We love a little rivalry.
A little rivalry. But honestly, I feel like they're so similar in so many ways. So I'm going to be talking today about Michael Baden. For any of you that don't know, I feel like if you grew up in the 90s and like early 2000s, he was all over. He had an HBO show called Autopsy.
Yes.
Okay, yes. he loved the limelight. Okay. He was very much like Thomas Noguchi. Before I get into all about him and all of like the notable cases that he's a part of, really quick, he and Thomas Noguchi, similar in age, both incredibly smart, well-respected, truly leaders in their field. But they also, like I said, loved the spotlight. To jog your memory quickly, Thomas Noguchi, did all the autopsies I listed, but also he was incredibly meticulous, but very comfortable with fame. And he never stayed quiet and just did his job. Like, he was always talking. He was always holding interviews, press briefings, answering questions.
Didn't he write a whole book?
Yes. Answering questions nobody would touch. And Michael Baden is very, very similar, which I love, because obviously we love to gossip. And I'm like, I love these people who are pathologists, medical examiners, coroners in the death industry, but they're also just girls. They're also just like...
They're just gossip girls.
Gossip girls.
I love it.
Okay, so Michael Baden, not far off. I have a little quote from NBCnews.com that describes him really well. It says, quote, "Michael never saw a camera he didn't like," said Dr. Lowell Levine, who has known Baden since the 1960s, serving with him as co-director of pathology for the New York State Police. "He used to yell at me about the press. They're just trying to make a living. Why don't you help them?" He knows how to give a good quote, added Marion Roach, a writer who helped Baden write the book Dead Reckoning, his 2003 memoir, Cum Crime Saga, on the future of forensic science. He's usually right. So he is very educated, very well respected. He wrote books. He wrote like dramas, nonfiction. He also wrote a memoir. So he loved the limelight.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so his early life. He was born on July 27th, which I have to mention because that is
birthday.
my birthday. 1934. So he is a little bit...
Same year.
No. Fuck.
Twin.
He was born and raised in the Bronx, New York. And I've watched I've watched many interviews of his, but he talks about how his mom in particular really pushed him to become a doctor. So in 1960, he graduated from NYU School of Medicine with a medical degree, and then he went on to train in pathology and had a residence at Bellevue Hospital. Then here's the drama. Okay. In 1978, he becomes the chief medical examiner of New York City. However, he is only in that position for a year. He is removed in 1979 because there was drama. So, I know. And you'll see this throughout his career, and he's still alive today. He's still doing commentary. He's still doing podcasts. He's still doing interviews, all of it. He's in his 90s. And
oh my God,
sharp.
good for him.
I know. But his life and career is not without drama. There's a lot.
All the good ones got a story behind them.
True. Very true. I love that he also, you'll see, like, he never stopped. He should have probably. I don't know, but like never stopped. I don't want to say that because I do really, truly believe that he is
but
smart.
Every field, especially when you're, physically doing something, there comes a stopping point.
Quit while you're ahead? I don't know.
I think embalming people is one of those.
Well, okay, we'll get into it because his career takes like different trajectories. So
okay.
He is removed in 1979 after a year as chief medical examiner. So the mayor fired him and accused him of a bunch of shit, allegedly, like that he lost evidence, that he was disorganized, that he wasn't easy to work with, like he would fight with people. Which I do kind of respect because I do think if you're right, like, yeah, fight for it, Oh,
I definitely believe in that. But I think probably being disorganized in that type of field, you probably shouldn't be the top dog.
Totally. So he is removed from that position, but he does sue. And he wins a wrongful termination case, but he's still removed from the office. So sucks. Then
but he was standing on business.
He was standing on business, and he does stand on business. He did then go on to work for Suffolk County in Long Island, and he was their deputy medical examiner, and he was fired again. From NBCnews.com. Quote, an article in, I think it's We magazine, quoted him giving advice for getting away. This is wild, Spencer. Getting away with high-tech murder. He later denied the quote, but one of his fellow pathologists grumbled about the ethics of a medical examiner giving advice on how to kill people, and Baden was forced out. So, who knows? Maybe he was, I don't think he's a fucking murderer trying to tell people how to murder people, but he's also in the death industry. You could look at our fucking search history and think, what?
Please don't. Please don't do it.
Don't do it.
Please don't do it.
Don't do it. God. Okay, so then he's pushed out of another office. Doesn't end his career. At some point in the 1980s, he's working part-time, I guess again for the state of New York. That's a little murky, not totally sure. But he is able to, the other part-time, take on private forensic work. And this is when shit really took off for him. I believe in 2005, he goes full private forensic pathologist.
Hold on. He was born in 1934.
1934.
And so 2005?
Yeah. He's in his 80s or 70s.
Okay. We love a career revamp. We love a new era, a new later in life career switcheroo.
He's alive and kicking still.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
He did a huge autopsy a couple years ago. So we'll get into it. So he goes, by the 2000s, he's fully a private forensic pathologist, which means that he can work for independent investigations. He can work for victims' families. And this means he's also doing a lot of court cases. He's called by defense teams to review autopsies and be an expert witness.
Got it. Okay.
Which Limelight loves it.
Loves it.
So now he's not just performing autopsies, he's also being hired to challenge things.
Got it. Okay.
And he has inserted himself or has been hired into some of the most famous controversial deaths in modern history. He's testifying, he's going on TV, he's writing books, the whole thing. And I want to get into all of those cases or some of the most famous ones, but I also want to zoom out because I don't want to take away from his career of actually performing autopsies. Throughout his career, he has performed over 20,000 autopsies.
Dang.
Yeah, so he's well respected. I don't want to shit on him, but I want to give you a full balanced view of him.
Yeah, we need the full scope.
Full scope. Something so interesting. Did not know much about this committee, but at some point, this is in the 70s, going back to the 70s, he becomes part of the House Select Committee on Assassinations. And this, I'll refer to it as the HSCA. And it was formed in the late 1970s. And it was basically the U.S. government was okay, people do not believe these assassinations that have happened of JFK and of Martin Luther King Jr.
Wait.
What?
Two things. One, Woody Harrelson's dad was a hitman?
Oh, yeah.
He was a hitman, and he was high on cocaine when they were arresting him for killing a judge as a hitman.
Remember, I think we did a dumb.ass criminal, but you had already known.
Maybe. But there was a 6-hour police standoff between the two, between him and the police. And he said he was responsible for killing JFK.
Oh, fuck.
And then I'm also reading another book about this woman named Jean Dixon. It's another vintage book that I got at the bookstore here, and it said Profit or Fraud. So obviously I had to buy it. It was written in the 60s or 70s. And there was this woman named Jean Dixon, and she predicted, I guess, the assassinations of both JFK and Martin Luther King Jr.
Shit. Was she?
Yeah.
I would like to get into, maybe we could do an episode on it, or maybe it's a cult leader, I don't know, but like the astrologers of the presidents.
I did an episode here.
Did you?
About, it was, I remember talking about, this was a long time ago, but it was at the Spanish House. So I remember talking about.
I remember you do it.
JP Morgan.
Yes.
And how he
Titanic.
he was supposed to go on the Titanic, but his astrologer told him no. But we didn't, I think, go too in depth on the astrologers themselves. We could, absolutely.
Yeah, crazy.
Sorry, I know that took a whole thing. You were talking about the Hitman Association, though. They hired him.
No, the Assassination Committee.
Oh, the Assassination.
The Hitman Association. Fuck, we're gonna get sued for
misinformation,
slander.
Oh, please.
Oh, no. I'm glad that you brought all that up, because obviously the JFK assassination especially has so many different theories. Like, it is.
Yes.
None of us believe that it wasn't a conspiracy, I feel like. I don't think it was just Lee Harvey Oswald or.
Yeah, no, it was not that. I believe in the conspiracies. Also loved 11/22/63.
Yes, that was a great, great film. I mean,
remember when we were in
Hulu show.
Hulu.
Now it's on Netflix. But
girl,
that was a great film, darling.
Oh, what brilliant cinema, if you ask me.
It was a show, not episodes. Woo, woo.
Woo.
Woo, woo, woo.
So anyways, so this guy's a hitman. And he killed JFK, allegedly.
Fuck. No, it is so complicated, convoluted, the whole thing. But in the 1970s, there was a legit House committee that went in and investigated, like reopened the cases of assassination. So JFK was assassinated in 1963. The original autopsy said he was struck by 2 bullets. Both came from behind, and the fatal shot was a headshot, and 1 bullet passed through his neck.
Remember I went when we were in Dallas?
Oh, to the grassy knoll?
I went to the site. Yeah, they have a little marker on the street where it happened.
Oh, wow. Where was I? Asleep?
Yeah, you did not want to wake up.
Okay.
I was like, I think I'm going to take the rental car and go get a coffee and go see where JFK was assassinated. You didn't want to go.
Oh, sounds about right. Okay.
You were there in spirit.
Yeah. Love it. So is he. Just kidding. Too soon. Baden agreed with the autopsy findings that the shots came from behind, that 2 bullets hit Kennedy and the fatal shot was in the head. But he did, it seems like he ripped apart the autopsy and was like, this was done really poorly. Like, it wasn't done with people who had proper forensic, it wasn't a proper forensic autopsy. It was like just a normal medical autopsy. And that the doctors weren't trained in gunshot forensic pathology. And then he also he criticized their handling of documents and x-rays. And so he didn't find a different outcome from the autopsy, but just that it was a mess. And kind of similarly with Martin Luther King Jr., he was assassinated in 1968. The death was caused by a single rifle shot. The bullet entered his face and neck, damaged his spine, and it was fatal. He also agreed that it was a single gunshot wound and that James Earl Ray was the shooter. But he criticized that the bullet track, I guess, was not fully dissected. It left lingering questions. It left room for conspiracies. And he, I guess, suggested that maybe the doctor didn't fully take out the bullet tract to preserve Martin Luther King Jr.'s body. So
okay.
I don't know. He didn't necessarily disagree with any of these autopsies or add to conspiracy theories.
More so how they were done.
Yes, exactly. How they were done. That I think is important to know. Like, he's an OG, you know? He's been in it. I think where he really became a celebrity was in 1995 when he was a defense expert in the O.J. Simpson case. This is really fucking controversial. This is like, he talks about how he like ruined his career with this case for a little while, and it's wild. So OJ case, we know, I'm sure you've done cult leader. I was going to say a shit ton on
your shit show.
Your fucking just shit episode on it. No, a shit ton on it. I feel like.
Yeah.
If you don't know the OJ Simpson case, not to shame you, but like, come on.
You should know.
You should know. Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman were both stabbed to death outside of her home in Brentwood, which when I was a kid, after it happened, my mom drove us by it. I was
she was doing that dark tourism, Tony.
Yeah, I was like 6 or 7, and she's like driving by like, oh my God, that's where it happened. Isn't that crazy?
Well, it was such a sensationalized case. I mean, O.J. Simpson murdered his wife.
Yeah.
And this other man, no reason.
Yeah. I believe Michael Baden created so much doubt in the case for the defense.
About O.J. Simpson?
Yes, for the defense, that I think it led to him, obviously, being found not guilty in the first case.
Wait, for the defense would mean he created so much doubt for the defense. Did the defense put him on, or did the prosecutor put him on?
No, the defense put him on, and he picked apart the autopsy. So he didn't.
Oh, and it didn't look good for them.
Right. It didn't look good for the prosecution. He created enough doubt.
Okay.
Nicole Brown Simpson was nearly decapitated. It was fucking brutal. Ron had multiple stab wounds and defensive wounds. The prosecution's theory was that OJ acted alone, that it was quick, and that it was violent, right? Baden agreed that the deaths were homicides and that the attacks were violent. And when you watch his testimony, you can YouTube his testimony. Like, it's wild. You have to think about it too. Like, I feel like with maybe he's thinking like scientifically. It's really interesting to watch. I don't know. Baden brought up that Nicole Brown Simpson could have been standing and conscious when her throat was cut, which challenged the prosecution's theory that she was attacked first and most likely unconscious or quickly like incapacitated. And the prosecution pointed out that no blood was on the soles of her feet and very few defensive wounds. So she likely wasn't moving or fighting back. So later, Baden completely walked this back. He admitted that it was essentially unrealistic that someone would just stand still while their throat was being slashed and not react. And he also claimed that Ron Goldman might have remained conscious and fought for like another 10 minutes. And that was important because it like stretched out the timeline of the murders, which helped support OJ's alibi. And then at the civil trial, Baden initially denied making those claims, but then they like showed him a video of him making those claims. And he walked it back and he was like, I misunderstood the question. And it was a whole, I hope I'm getting those details correct, but basically he planted a lot of seeds of doubt, and he said like, or alluded to, testifying for the OJ trial was a mistake and that it damaged his reputation, hurt his career. And he was like labeled like a hired expert.
Got it.
Yeah. So not good for him. Then another huge case that he was a part of was the Phil Spector case, which I know you've done episodes on. And so in 2003, actress Lana Clarkson is found dead in Phil Spector's home from a gunshot wound. And it's in the mouth, I believe, like a...
Yeah. Well, because they tried to make it sound, I think, like a suicide, right?
Yes, like a suicide. Baden testifies for the defense. It's wild. I need to read you from the Hollywood Reporter. Quote, Prosecutor Alan Jackson, which is weird to hear because we know the Karen Reed case, he's a defense attorney. Prosecutor Alan Jackson, in his second day of a contentious cross-examination of the New York pathologist, challenged him on the opinion first expounded Tuesday that Clarkson's spinal cord was not completely severed when a bullet tore through her mouth on February 3, 2003. The opinion supports defense claims that Clarkson could have spewed blood onto Spector's jacket with her dying gasps after she was shot. Baden's theory offers an explanation of how Spector could have gotten specks of blood on his jacket if he didn't shoot her, which prosecutors contend he did. Spector's lawyers say Clarkson shot herself. A prosecution expert has testified that Spector had to be within 2 or 3 feet for blood backspatter to land on his jacket, and the coroner who performed the autopsy told the jury that Clarkson's severed spine would have caused almost instantaneous death, and she wouldn't have exhaled or expelled blood forcefully out of her mouth. Baden said her spinal cord was not completely transected by the bullet, but may have been torn further during transportation to the morgue.
Got it. So he's doing his due diligence. He's like, this is what I think.
Okay, but the drama with that, Baden is married to a woman named Linda Kenny Baden, who was one of Phil Spector's defense attorneys.
Oh, that's not right.
So you can go on YouTube and you can see Alan Jackson ripping him a new one on the stand.
Damn.
Like,
and of course.
But he does say, like, I came to this conclusion on my own. This is a medical conclusion. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm married to the defense attorney. So I don't know. Pretty wild.
Some infamous trials to work on, though.
Infamous trials to work on. The jury doesn't buy it, though. Spector's ultimately convicted. I think the most infamous.
Do you know his wigs?
Yes. The ones he wore. I think I know him because of you.
They were crazy, girl.
The fucking wigs. Okay, I have 2 more. In 2019, Jeffrey Epstein is found dead in his jail cell, and the official ruling is suicide by hanging. Okay? Well, Jeffrey Epstein's family hires Michael Baden to do his own, like to look at the autopsy and do his own findings. He doesn't perform the autopsy, but he's brought in. He publicly disagrees with the conclusion. Like, he's the one who came out saying, no, this was not a suicide. This is consistent with a homicide.
Damn.
I know. He focuses on the fractures on Epstein's neck. I guess the hyoid boing. The hyoid bone and the thyroid cartilage is consistent with homicidal strangulation, not suicide. But
if that was Jeffrey Epstein.
I know, that's a whole fucking other conspiracy theory. An NPR article says, quote, but on Wednesday, New York City Chief Medical Examiner Barbara Sampson, whose office performed the autopsy, reiterated her findings. Our investigation concluded that the cause of Mr. Epstein's death was hanging and the manner of death was suicide. So
she's not backing down.
She's not backing down.
Well, it also does sound like he's kind of wrong sometimes.
I know. Or maybe he's right. Who knows? Maybe
he's right.
Okay, so then in 2020, Baden is brought in to actually perform the autopsy, an independent autopsy on George Floyd. We know.
Oh.
Yes. This time he is actually doing the full examination himself. The official ruling eventually calls Floyd's death a homicide. But early statements downplayed the trauma and But Baden was like very direct about it. He was like, Floyd's death was from asphyxia caused by pressure on his neck and back. And he rejects the idea that underlying health issues or drugs were a primary cause of his death. So help convict fucking Derek Chauvin or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking pig.
God.
I know.
Gnarly. That's crazy. I mean, he worked on, maybe it's not as much celebrity of it all, but he worked on so many infamous cases.
Aaron Hernandez, he was brought on for like brain stuff, John Belushi. There's a ton
Oh, wow.
that he's like commented on too. He's just been in the like zeitgeist of it all.
Yeah. Crazy.
I
What
know.
a career. And he's still going.
Still going. Still
Maybe
kicking.
he'll do ours one day.
I would love that. I would love that.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, we're going to take one more quick break. And then when we come back, Madison, I'm going to tell you what had me spinning in my coffin this week.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin? And where is your mic stand?
It's elsewhere.
You told me I can't do that.
Because you be doing this.
My lobster hands.
Okay, well, girly, my home turf had me spinning in my coffin this week. This is the best story ever. This is the best fucking story.
Oh my God. Okay.
Lock in, bitch.
Okay, I'm
Lock
locked in.
Okay, so I still subscribe to the SF Gate, which is like a newspaper publication based in San Francisco.
Okay.
And, well, I guess digital now. But the other day, this article pops up, and it's talking about a mansion in the Nob Hill neighborhood of San Francisco.
Is that like the rich?
Yeah, like it's one of, well, yeah, it's like a nice area. There's a lot of like hotels and stuff over there we'll get into.
Okay.
But it said something about the mansion, like the Presidio is like the like, honey, that's where Robin Williams
Is that where the
was.
sports basement was?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful.
Madison and I have performed in a sports basement. We'll do it all for the plot, baby. But it's talking about this mansion in Nob Hill. And in the headline, it mentions something about the mansion being kept for the sole purpose of mourning. It was like this family kept a mansion just to mourn in or something.
What?
Yeah. So obviously I'm like, okay, tell me fucking everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to share some snippets from that article first, but it led to some side missions. And this was crazy. I found so much good shit. So the article said, quote, a block away from the summit of San Francisco's Nob Hill, the Stanford Court Hotel has a certain historical ambiance and a few tasteful references to the past, including a grand stained glass dome and a mural of galloping horses, a subtle homage to a groundbreaking photographer. But the majority of the guests checking into the landmark property, which itself is more than 100 years old, don't have a particular reason to think about the scale of what happened here. For roughly 3 decades at the end of the 19th century, 905 California Street was the address of the grandest home in the entire state, the Nob Hill Mansion of Leland Stanford, a man who amassed one of the largest fortunes in the area. The article goes on to talk about this man, Leland Stanford. Leland had made his way out west during the gold rush and was actually the governor of California. He was brought in January of 1862. And originally, he and his family had settled in Sacramento, but then in the 1870s, they made their way to San Francisco, which is when he built this gigantic mansion.
Wow. Is it Stanford, like this, like Stanford University?
Oh, we'll get into it. So I learned that Stanford University is all because of a death.
Really?
Yes. Leland Stanford, he was from New York originally. And one of his 8 siblings was a brother named Thomas Welton Stanford. Like his brother, Thomas also headed out west during the gold rush. But eventually, he leaves Leland behind in California, and him and another brother of theirs actually moved to Melbourne, Australia. The reason we have to sidetrack and talk about Thomas for a second. He was actually a spiritualist.
Love.
Obviously, the name Stanford holds a lot of power. They are, in fact, the founders of Stanford University. Leland and his wife, Jane, founded Stanford as a memorial to their son, Leland Stanford Jr., who died when he was just 15 years old from typhoid.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Anyway, Thomas Stanford and his brother, DeWitt, moved to Melbourne, and Thomas, already wealthy at the time, I think from the gold rush, was a distributor for Singer sewing machines in Australia. And he held all these records for like the highest sales. Super good salesman.
Yes. So
And then in 1880, Singer as a company, as a brand, they stopped employing independent salesmen So Thomas retires from the biz. He'd made a ton of money throughout his career. So he's like, all right, I'm good. Time to focus more on my spiritualism interests. And he had actually gotten really into spiritualism after his brother, DeWitt, the one who moved with him to Melbourne, died in 1862. I guess after that, Thomas became pretty reclusive. He was still doing sales for Singer at the time, but then he just started reading and learning as much as he could about contact with the afterlife.
Okay, as one does.
As one does. So Thomas, alongside fellow spiritualists W.H. Terry and J.B. Motherwell, founded the Victorian Association of Progressive Spiritualists, where in Australia, they frequently hosted these philosophical discussions on the afterlife, as well as hosting regular seances. And I thought that was just so cool. We love like the Victorian spiritualists. And so I was looking through the newspaper archives in Australia to see if I could find anything about the Association of Progressive Spiritualists.
Wait, I have to say, remember we talked about Australia we are sleeping on with the Victorian era? Remember there were articles about the ghost pranks?
Yes.
We need to dive deeper.
We do. Down under.
Down under.
I found a newspaper article clipping from December 4th of 1871, and it actually announced the group's first meeting. It said, first annual address of the president of the Victorian Association of Progressive Spiritualists. C. Harringer of Light, this day. Price, 6 pence. Office, 96 Russell Street. And so I was looking for more information. I read some other articles from that same year, 1871 through 1872. And there were a few articles that were like, the death toll compared to the amount of babies being born at the time was like pretty high. And they said something like, these numbers would be appreciated by spiritualists. And I couldn't tell. It feels like a little bit of a dig.
Yeah.
But the people loved it. And 6 months after founding the group, another article comes out in the Tribune on May 31st of 1872, and it says, the half-yearly meeting of the Victorian Association of Progressive Spiritualists was held on May 24th. About 200 persons sat down to tea. From the half-yearly report read, it appeared that the association had made considerable progress during the past 6 months. The attendance at the Sunday services having doubled and much more active interest in the principles of Spiritism evinced.
I love that this is just in the newspaper, by the way.
Love that it's in the newspaper, and love that like within 6 months of founding this group, people were like, hell yeah, seances, spirits, like I'm all on board.
Yeah.
But the craziest part to me is they are still very active to this day, that group.
Really?
Yes. On their website, they say the Victorian Spiritualist Union had its beginnings in Melbourne in 1870, when one of the first spiritualist churches in the world was opened under the name of the Victorian Association of Progressive Spiritualists. The society attracted many eminent people, including Alfred Deakin, who was the Prime Minister of Australia from 1903 to 1904, 1905 to 1908, and then 1909 to 1910, who held the office of president for many years before taking on a full commitment in politics. And during 1930, members of the Victorian Association of Spiritualists and the Melbourne Progressive Spiritualistic Lyceum joined together and formed the Victorian Spiritualist Union, which I think is what it operates under today. And it became an incorporated association on July 9th of 1990. And then it talks about like their meeting places, but they also have something called their statement of purpose, which is like their rules for being in, I guess. Or like why they're there. And it says, we're here to pursue the recognition of spiritualism as a philosophy, science, and religion. 2, to maintain the religion of spiritualism on a sound and permanent basis by investigation and advancement of spiritual truths and purposes and the religious, moral, intellectual, and physical training of its members. 3, to teach and instill the belief in a supreme beneficent intelligence and the essential spiritual nature of man. 4, to affirm the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man, the immortality of the spirit and its personal characteristics, the proven facts of communion between departed human spirits and mortals, personal responsibility with compensation and retribution here and hereafter for all manner of deeds done on earth, and a path of eternal progress open to every human spirit who wills to tread it. 5, to uphold, protect, expound, and teach the principles of spiritualism. And 6, to encourage and develop cooperation between all members of the association and with similar organizations and bodies that share the similar objectives and purposes as the association. So today they are still active as like this group of spiritualists, but obviously they're doing things on kind of like a different level. But it seems like they've kept that like core value system of like, we're here to like try and connect with the afterlife, which I just love.
Cool.
Thomas Stanford himself passed away in 1918 at the age of 86, but he left quite a legacy behind. He had been on the board of trustees of Stanford University and donated a ton of money to the school. When he died, I'm pretty sure he left like the bulk of his estate to Stanford, as well as books and art, which are preserved on campus. And at one point, the main library that was on the Stanford campus was named after him. But now, all of that was like our little side quest into Thomas. Back to that mansion in San Francisco.
Okay.
Leland Stanford had built it from the ground up. It was 41,000 square feet, 50 rooms, marble steps, huge columns, it was gorgeous, opulent. From the SF gate, quote, the entrance was 100 feet in length and widened to showcase a central rotunda, which was ringed by another set of Corinthian columns rising to the roof. Mirrors were strategically placed throughout the house to make the larger rooms feel even larger than they were. The dining room could seat 60, had its own indoor fountain, and featured a hand-stenciled ceiling. And the art gallery walls were covered with paintings by significant European artists. So this was just like incredible. It goes on to say, on the second floor, the ceiling was decorated with murals meant to represent every continent. Even guest rooms were glamorous, with features like marble fireplaces. The view from the hilltop, which Stanford had selected intentionally, showed Alcatraz to the north and San Jose to the south. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Leland and Jane tragically lost Leland Jr. when he was just 15 years old to typhoid. They held a funeral, did all the things, but their grief was just all-consuming. So they remove everything from the mansion. The art comes down from the walls. They clear the house of all the furniture. Every single thing in that house is taken out except for Leland Jr.'s bedroom, which was left entirely intact, untouched from the day he died.
Whoa.
So it's just this mansion, 50-room mansion sitting there, and there's just that one bedroom for Leland.
Leland's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, afterward, Leland and Jane moved to Menlo Park. But I guess they would return to the mansion in the city every so often, purely with the intent to go in and grieve the loss of their son.
Oh my God. That's
so they
heavy.
Literally just kept this massive estate there just so that they could go feel closer to him. It was after that loss that they put their money towards building Stanford University, which was originally like its legal full title name is Leland Stanford Jr. University.
Oh, wow.
And then eventually it got abbreviated to just Stanford, and the school opened in 1891. In 1906, as for the mansion today, unfortunately you cannot visit it. In 1906, as probably a lot of you know, there was a very big earthquake that hit San Francisco.
Oh.
And sadly, due to damage from the earthquake, including a lot of fires that ran through the city, the house was pretty much burnt down to its foundation. Which still, the foundation of the property still remains today. And then a few years later, Lucian H. Sly builds this big apartment complex on the property, and he actually calls it the Stanford Apartments.
Oh.
But now, as mentioned in the SF Gate, it is Stanford Court Hotel.
Oh.
But it shares on that same property is the Mark Hopkins Hotel. The Mark Hopkins Hotel, Mark Hopkins was one of Leland's friends, I guess. They had like come out at the same time. Or like they were like making a name for themselves in Sacramento when he first came out west.
Okay.
Mark Hopkins, I've been to dozens of times. There is a bar / club, kind of. It's not a club, but it's like a big bar at the top of the hotel, and it's called Top of the Mark. And all throughout my 20s, I spent so much time there because we would go all the time because they always had a live band there.
Oh.
Who would like play covers and play music. And like, we weren't interested in going to clubs. So that's like where we would go to like go out. We'd get like a fun drink and just whatever.
Right.
And it was always so fun. The next time we're in San Francisco together, we should actually go there. Because we've gone even during Christmas time just to like have a drink before dinner just because it's beautiful. And there's such great views of the city there. But you'll know exactly where this is. When we were on our book tour, actually, to go do that thing at Sports Wasteland, we stayed at the Fairmont Hotel.
Beautiful.
Which is directly across the street. That's where they have like the Tonga room and all that.
Oh, okay.
So directly across the street from the Fairmont is the Mark Hopkins Hotel.
Oh, okay.
And just, it was crazy to me because I've been there so many times. And then to learn the history of that land and the property there, but not only that, but to learn that Stanford University, which is obviously, you hear about Stanford your entire life.
Right.
To know that it was founded out of the grief that these parents had to memorialize their son that they lost was just so incredible to me. Because I'm like, there's probably a ton of people on campus there or went to school there. It's their alma mater. And they have no idea like the actual history of it.
No idea. I love that. I love that so much. I love also that just like the spiritualism connections to it too.
That and just keeping this mansion just to mourn the lot. I mean, it's just,
That's
it's such a cool story.
That's
I was
so
hyped.
cool.
That was definitely one where it's like I ran into the champ. I'm like, listen, okay, you know Stanford? Da-da-da.
It's gonna be a good story when you don't even need notes. You're just like, this
You're
is what
in it.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love that.
Fully. So that is the story of Leland Stanford and his wife, Jane, and everything that came from the loss of their son.
It's haunting to think of such a huge house. And to think only a little boy's bedroom, I mean, 15
One out of 50 rooms is
Whoa.
just intact.
Wow. Wild.
And I don't know, the number 50, it probably includes, I would assume, offices, billiard room, like things like that. But
yeah,
still.
Wow.
Crazy.
Really crazy. I wonder, I don't know if this is disrespectful. But
if he haunts it?
Yes.
That was my thought too. I'm like, I wonder.
Or like if there's any I've seen, you know?
Yeah, like the spirit of, a young boy.
Who knows?
Interesting.
Maybe there's some locals that listen that know.
Because clearly I don't.
Well,
they're never been haunted. No, I'm just kidding. Really. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I should actually look into that and see if there's anything about the haunted history of that hotel.
Yeah.
Or reported ghost sightings. What if people have seen a young boy and they're like, we don't know who it is?
Yes.
I'd be like, I know who it is.
I know exactly who it is. And room 117 is actually the location of his bedroom.
Ooh, I just got chills. I don't know why. It's not even real, but it got me.
Should we do? Maybe we need to go investigate.
Do a little ghost hunting?
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Obituary investigates.
Trademark it. Austin. Right that it's trademarked here.
Yeah. Make a fun graphic. Oh my God. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's the history there. But let's move into some obituaries now. The namesake of this show.
The namesake. And I have to say, I loved this obituary. It was sent in from someone named Raven. Raven, thank you.
Thank you, Raven.
They wrote, Virginia lost an icon in eagle conservation. The link is behind a pathway, but the obituary is copied below, which, Raven, I appreciate so much. Thank you for just copying it. I thought you Geoffs would appreciate the wholesome obit and how Mitchell Byrd, what a last name, is memorialized in it. Oh, this is from, Richmond.com. Byrd expert credited with recovery of bald eagles in Virginia dies at 97. Mitchell A. Byrd, his name is literally, last name is B-Y-R-D.
Destined.
A College of William and Mary Byrd expert who helped save bald eagles from extinction has died after more than 70 years years of scientific work and advocacy. He was 97. More than any individual, Mitchell Byrd was responsible for the recovery of bald eagles in Virginia, said Brian Watts, also a W&M bird expert and a lifelong friend of Byrd. Byrd died March 31st of pancreatic cancer and other ailments at an assisted living home in Williamsburg, Watts said. In addition to helping the eagle, America's living symbol, Byrd worked to bring back peregrine falcons, ospreys, and other imperiled species, and to protect wild lands they inhabited. Short and bald, Byrd was not imposing. His weapon was gentlemanly persuasion, wielded in legislative halls, classrooms, and news stories, Watts said. He became one of the most trusted voices for conservation of his generation. Byrd told the Times-Dispatch in 2010, "Some people think they have rights that supersede every other right. What's different about us? We've got an opposable first digit. We've got a large brain. Beyond that, we aren't much. What good are adaptations like those two if you don't put them to use?" Byrd has been called the man who saved the eagle, and simply the Byrd man. "I was in awe of him upon meeting Byrd," said Karen Hayes, former field office supervisor for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in Virginia. "That was before I knew how funny and down to earth he was. It makes me smile now." In the 1970s, eagles had virtually died out in Virginia. In 1977, there were just 33 nests, and none along the James River. The federal government appointed Byrd to lead a team of experts to help bring back the big brown and white birds in the Chesapeake Bay region. Today, eagles tend about 1,500 nests in Virginia, including more than 400 along the James. There are at least 2 eagle nests in Richmond and several more in the city's suburbs. Among his efforts, Byrd flew over Virginia for 42 years to count eagles and see which lands they preferred, lands that might need protection. Byrd's science and advocacy helped create eagle preserves, including the James River National Wildlife Refuge east of Hopewell and Kilden State Park in King George County. Byrd attributed the eagle's comeback also to a federal ban on the use of DDT, a pesticide that poisoned the birds in the early 1970s. And the protections of the Endangered Species Act. Eagles made similar comebacks across the lower 48 states. Byrd had a puckish sense of humor. At a social event in Richmond, a woman asked him if eagles mate for life. "No," Byrd replied. "They take a break once in a while." Mitchell Aggie Byrd was born in 1928 in Franklin in south central Virginia, the son of Cyrus Oscar Byrd, a lumber mill sawyer, and Margaret Hill Byrd, a homemaker. Byrd grew up loving the outdoors, but was most drawn to birds, he said, because they're the most interesting. Byrd's family couldn't afford to send him to college, Watts said, so he worked various jobs from age 12, including trapping muskrats to get the money. In 1954, he earned a doctorate in biology from Virginia Tech. 2 years in the Army included a stint at a biological warfare center, not Mitchell's favorite subject. Byrd joined the W&M faculty in 1956. He was chairman of the biology department from 1962 to 1976. In 1992, Byrd and Watts, his former student, founded the Center of Conservation Biology. Part of W&M, the center works to protect birds and the lands they inhabit. Watts is the center's director. Byrd retired from full-time teaching in 1993, but he worked with the center into his 90s. Byrd received dozens of conservation awards. W&M honored him in 2009 by creating an endowed professorship in his name. Watts holds that post. Byrd's wife Lois died at 91 in 2024. The two had often worked together in the field. They were an inseparable team for more than 70 years, Watts said. They had no children. Byrd is survived by 2 nephews and a niece. He was also preceded in death by a sister. Byrd requested that there be no services after his death.
Ugh, rest in peace, Birdman.
Birdman?
Well, and the irony of someone named Raven sending that to us.
I know.
Another bird. Bird's the word.
Bird's the word, baby.
Well, my word of the day is hysteria.
Good one.
My obituary is all about it, baby. And I think it's because if you're in our Patreon book club, we just read The Mad Wife, which is so fantastic. Do not listen to our episode that we put out on it on Patreon if you haven't read the book yet, because it's full of spoilers.
Yeah.
But oh man, that book is something else.
So good.
So
Megan Church.
So mine comes from the Des Moines Register, Sunday, July 30th, 1905. And it says, woman dies of hysteria.
Oh.
Quote, owing to an attack of hysteria brought on by the sight of her 4-year-old son riding on a freight truck, Mrs. J.M. Kinsey of West Riverside died late yesterday afternoon. The lad fell from the car and was knocked unconscious, and his mother, believing that the boy was killed, succumbed to her grief before the true state of affairs could be ascertained.
Oh, no.
I know. So she literally, it's kind of reminded me of when we've talked about like died by fright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, 100%. But they said hysteria. So her uterus was just floating around everywhere.
Just floating around. Yeah.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Damn. Sad. Well, let's turn those frowns upside down, Madison. We have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
It means it's time for some dumb
ass
criminals. Who you got?
Okay, I have a tale as old as time, Spencer. Just dumb. Dumb. This is from ksat.com, July 19th, 2017. All right, this says a Florida man faces a list of charges after reporting some cocaine and cash stolen over the weekend, authorities said.
Oh, no.
David Blackmon, 35, of Fort Walton Beach, was booked Sunday into the Okaloosa County Jail on charges of cocaine possession, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest without violence. Blackmon, who reportedly billed himself as a drug dealer, told a deputy who answered the call that someone had gone into his car and fished $50 and a quarter ounce of cocaine from the center console. Don't you hate
Fucking
that?
idiot.
The deputy reported finding powder and crack cocaine in the console, as well as a crack pipe on the floorboard, but said he did not locate the missing money. Blackmon, who court records show has a history of arrests in Okaloosa County, was in custody Tuesday in lieu of $4,000 bail.
God, if you lose your drugs, you lose your drugs. You can call someone, but don't call the police.
You know, he was on a good one. Like, fuck, man.
Damn.
I know.
Well, mine this week is from the Tribune. The headline just made me laugh. I don't know why. It's from Friday, November 21st, 2003. It says, elderly woman arrested for threats.
I love
it because we're such old biddies that I picture it like, ow, hello.
Threatening
fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Windsor. Quote, an elderly Windsor woman arrested after police surrounded her home will be in Chatham Court Friday to face charges of uttering a death threat and careless use of a firearm.
Oh, shit. They had surrounded her home.
Surrounded her, girl. Quote, it has to do with car repairs, said Staff Sergeant Cliff Lavelle of Windsor Police. The woman, 74, was arrested by police after they surrounded her home east of downtown Thursday. Windsor Police had been alerted by the Chatham Kent counterparts that a loaded .38 caliber revolver belonging to the woman had been seized in Chatham the day before. Oh. Windsor Police had been asked to arrest her, but were warned that she was possibly armed again. Police said the suspect and her husband, living in one of 2 units in a small 2-story house, cooperated and allowed police to search the premises. But I love that this woman is going around fucking swinging around a revolver being like, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't put that tire on my car right now, Jimmy.
I love. Yeah, it was car repairs. She's fucking packing. Yeah. Packing heat. She had her house surrounded. She's in her 70s.
They were like, she might be armed again.
She's scary. I feel like, that's what I love about older gentlewomen and gentlemen. The older community, because
They don't give a fuck.
Don't have a lot to lose. And they say it like it is.
Oh, yeah.
And they fucking make threats. And
I can't wait.
oh my God,
I
Spencer,
can't wait. I just want to be 90 years old. I want to walk into the Verizon store and say, I don't fucking care. Fix it.
Fix my fucking phone, which is probably going to be this big, and we're probably going to have a chip implanted in our head.
Not me, girl. The fucking freedom, I think that comes after a certain age, because also everyone's so pushy and salesy now with certain things. Like, remember when you try and cancel anything, you just got to have that old person energy now, that elder energy of like someone being like trying like, well, if you stay with us for 3 more months, we can guarantee you. I don't give a shit. Cancel it.
Damn it.
Fuck it. Let me talk to your supervisor.
Cancel it. Yeah. Give me. I don't want it. Are you a robot?
Human. Oh, I had that recently. God, what the fuck was I trying to do? Something. And I had to call a system, and they were like doing everything that they could do to like get me to chat with the online bot. I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk to a robot. And then you call, it's an automated system. Like, I don't want to fucking talk to you either. It's like, we're not
human.
We're from a generation that we still had to answer the phone every day. So I will be actually taking this phone call. I'm not scared of a phone call. Without
caller ID, mind
Girl,
you.
I'm answering everything.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. No, 100%. Isn't that crazy? We didn't know who was calling that on the house phone.
Yeah. And then you get prank called and you're like *67.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember I was prank calling and they called back. My parents were at work. My brother answered, got chewed out by someone. I would just dial random numbers. And I remember I had negotiating skills even when I was probably 8 or 9, because my brother and I worked out a plan. He was waiting for his report card to come in the mail. This is before they sent it home with you. He got chewed out because I was fucking prank calling. And I said, well, I'll be on the lookout for your report card. So let's not talk to mom and dad.
They don't need to know.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I saw that meme the other day that was like, telling a little kid that they'd be a great lawyer is a great way of telling a little kid that they're a bitch. It's like, damn, they told me that all the time when I was a kid. They'd be like, you should be a lawyer, because I'd always argue fucking everything. It's so fucking true.
It's totally. There's like quite a few things like that. Like, oh, you're just a ham. And it's like, you're fucking annoying and you need to sit down.
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to watch you sing this song again.
Yeah. I love that.
Well, look at us now. We are the stars of our very own podcast. Bitch.
Yeah. We need lawyers.
Yeah. But that is where we're going to leave things for the week. We will see you next time for some more coffin spinners.
And obituaries.
And some dumb. I'm following your lead, princess. I'm following your lead, princess. Dumb.
Ass.
Criminals. Goodbye.
Goodbye.